NNPC does not produce petroleum crude oil.
Nnpc started again, using yet another strategy to drain Nigerian resources by requesting a massive sum of money for refining crude oil within the country. This move has raised eyebrows and sparked debate across the nation, as many are questioning whether this is truly in the best interest of Nigeria or just another scheme to siphon off funds. Welcome back to Lajupok TV show. In this episode, we are here to bring you this inside scoop on the economic issues surrounding Nigeria's refineries. The Nnpc's latest maneuver is just one of the many topics we will be diving into today. We'll be breaking down the implications of this massive financial request, exploring who stands to benefit, and discussing what it means for the average Nigerian. If this is your first time tuning in, we want to extend a warm welcome. Make sure to like this video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share it across all your social media platforms so that people can join the conversation. And also don't forget to click on the notification icon so that you can be the first to know whenever we drop a new video. Stay tuned as we uncover the real story behind Nnpc's latest move and what it could mean for Nigerians' future.
Welcome to Lajupok TV show.
The whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome back, my people. As you can see, Nigeria is grappling with several challenges, particularly in the petroleum sector. Food scarcity is becoming a significant issue, and it's taking a heavy toll on our economy. Every day, the price of fuel keeps rising, and this isn't just a problem for drivers. It's impacting every single one of us. The rising cost of fuel is creating a ripple effect that's affecting all aspects of our life. Basic necessities from food to transportation are becoming more expensive. The constant increase in fuel prices is driving up the cost of goods and services, making it harder for us to avoid the essentials. On top of that, the naira's depreciation against the dollar is compounding the problem, making imported goods even more costly. We are all feeling the impact. Market women are struggling to sell their goods at a price that covers their cost. Taxi drivers are finding it difficult to afford fuel, and everyday families are facing tough choices as prices climb. The vicious cycles of rising fuel prices leading to high costs for goods and services is putting a serious strain on our lives. The economic strain is evident everywhere. Businesses are dealing with increased operational costs and are often forced to pass those costs on to consumers. This means that not only are goods becoming more expensive, but so are services. Whether it's healthcare, education, or transportation, the rising costs are making it increasingly difficult for us to access what we need. And it's not just about the numbers. There's a real emotion toll as well. Many of us are feeling frustrated and helpless as we watch our cost of living climb with no clear end in sight. We are worried about our future and the future of our children. We need answers and solutions from those in power. In this video, I'll be taking you into the streets to hear directly what Nigerians who are dealing with these challenges every day will listen to their stories, their struggles, and their thoughts on what needs to be done to address this crisis. So my people, stay tuned. Watch this video to hear the voices of our fellow Nigerians as they share their experience and ideas. I'll be back after this.
I've been here for over 3 hours before getting inside and filling my tank for 44,000, which before was like 15k. And when you want to even buy by the roadside, that's like 62,000 naira. I wonder how the poor men are living in this country. It's very, very frustrating.
Funny at all that one can leave his office to just get a fuel. And my plan was to go back to work. But as it is now, if you look at time, you will see that I'm already exhausted. I cannot get this fuel and get back to work. I'm on queue since 6 o'clock till now. I'm still looking for fuel.
See me as a civil servant or as a public servant, as a health worker too. The stress is telling on us, on our patients too. It's affecting us in a very large way that I cannot even explain. It pains me that I will close from work by 4 o'clock. I have to stay in the queue for 3-4 hours. It's not fair. And most of these big men over there, they take their fuel from fuel dumps.
I spent more than 2 hours on the queue just to get the fuel. And the price is not what one can afford.
Their price is still very fair, 660 per liter, and their liter is always full.
I think it's 650 or 670 here, but in the other place it was 800 and something naira per liter. and that's very ridiculous.
Welcome back, my people. Just a few hours on Arise TV this morning, I watched Sam Aboni, an energy and investment solicitor, make some critical points about our current fuel crisis and its impact on the economy. Aboni stressed that Nnpc exploiting the situation to siphon more money from Nigerians. He pointed out that the Nnpc unable to refine crude oil without functional refineries. This situation is only getting worse as fuel prices continue to rise. Aboni specifically highlighted how Nnpc is obstructing Dangote's access to crucial resources needed for refining. He argued that this obstruction isn't just an oversight, it's a deliberate act of sabotage against the Dangote Refinery project. This refinery was supposed to help resolve the first crisis by increasing our domestic refining capacity and reducing our reliance on costly imports. Instead, it seems Nnpc's actions are designed to perpetuate corruption and prevent this vital project from succeeding. Given the current fuel crisis and skyrocketing inflation, this interference is particularly damaging. Rising fuel costs are driving up the prices of goods and services, making life increasingly difficult for Nigerians. The lack of operational refinery means we are stuck relying on expensive imports, worsening the economic strain on families and businesses. Aboni also criticized Nnpc for engaging in what he described as brown envelope and scale corruption tactics. He believed that by blocking the Dangote Refinery, Nnpc is ensuring that corrupt practices continue unchecked, which further destabilizes the economy and harms ordinary Nigerians. Let's take a closer look at what Sam Aboni had to say about this crucial issue. Stay tuned and we'll be right back with more details.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. Thank you.
This is rather worrisome, isn't it? You know, first time, okay, second time, maybe. Third time, let's keep our fingers crossed. Well, 6 times. How did we get here? You know, what does this say about the accountability and the transparency of the communication between the Nnpc and the Nigerian people?
Well, I think the straight answer is to say that the president and minister of petroleum cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It is clear that the Nnpc has a whole lot of corruption, has mismanaged the process, and it's not unexpected that the 6th time or 7th time or 8th time that the refinery will not work. So I think the whole effort, repeating the same thing over and over, is a big question. So for me, I think really what the issue around energy for us is really not about refining. Energy for us is about having petrol at the gas station. And I think we should go a step backwards, and I think the solution to the problem is to look at our upstream and get Nnpc to increase production. And if we increase production, if we have more crude, we'll have more revenue. That will solve the first problem of revenue. And the extra crude that we produce, we can now say, do we want to produce this internally or take it out? Because we are bleeding on both sides. We are not producing enough. The cruise that we have has already been committed to pay debts. So the flows that we have for domestic production is shrinking on a daily basis. And even if we had refining capacity today of 650 barrels per day, but we're not even have the crude from our production to feed those refineries, because we have committed our crude productions to pay off our debt. So I think first things first, I think throwing money at the refineries for Nnpc is not the way to go. We are happy that we have Dangote and a few of the modular refineries coming up on stream. It is almost comic that we have boys in the Niger Delta that are boiling crude, and we are going after them, and they can refine crude, but our institutions, Nnpc, is not in a position to refine crude. It's almost tragic.
Well, I mean, this is the way I would like you to look at it. I mean, because I don't want to take away from what you have said, that we shouldn't focus on the refineries that Nnpc and by extension Nigeria, owns. Last week we had here as a guest the president of the petroleum products retail outlets owners, who said that he was part of those who were conducted around the 2 refineries in Port Harcourt and I think Warri, and he was almost beating his chest to say that this time around Nnpc will get it right. They haven't gotten it right. So if you say don't commit more money, money has already been committed since 2021. That's 2 years of Buhari's government, and then clearly more than 1 year of Tinubu's government. But the same people at the headship of Nnpc, the same people right there. Yes, we may not want to commit more money, but the ones that we have committed, shouldn't they deliver on them? What would be your advice? What do you think at this point that government should do?
The money we have spent on refineries even goes way beyond that time. 99, we have been spending money on refineries.
For the turnaround, maintenance stuff.
And so the question is, do you stop the leakage? Now, yes, I agree with you that we spend money on the refinery. We always hear, even we're just talking about somebody that visited the refinery. We have gotten the GMD on tape, on video, committing to get the refineries running. Medicare. When Kachuku resumed as minister, one of his commitments was to get the refinery up and running. When the guys are on the campaign trail, the refinery up, appoint a minister, first thing, refinery up. So we are not, my point is that the rhetorics that the refinery is going to be up. So it's as if it's just a means, we're going to get the refinery as a means to get allocation to spend on the refinery. Now, what I'm saying is that we need to look at performance.
Okay.
Yes, man. And not through money are the problem. What has been consistent is that Nnpc has shown that it cannot run the refineries. So throwing money at Nnpc to get the refineries, to get a 2 years timetable just for them to move it, is not something that is unexpected. Because, and that's the point. That's the point I'm making on the refineries, on the refinery issue. So for me, I think we need to face. I think the refinery is not really the issue, because even if we had refining capacity today, we're not producing enough crude to meet our commitments and provide fixed stock for the refineries. So for me, it's not really just about, there are two issues. One, we are throwing money, good money at the refineries, which I don't think we should be doing. Two, we are not facing the real issue, which is we need an Nnpc that is fit and nimble to increase production. You understand? So for me, I think the issues we need to be discussing is that we have a PIB that was legislated over a 20-year period that we're not even implementing.
The PIA?
Yeah, the PIA. We're not even implementing the PIA because if we go into subsidy, we're not fully geographize the market. If we go in terms of what Nnpc is doing, Nnpc is really not following the letters of what has been committed in the PIA. So for me, I think we need to take a step back, and we have had a consistent leadership for Nnpc that has performed abysmally. We can't reward them with continuous performance. I think the Minister of Petroleum needs to step into this issue.
The President is the substantive minister.
Yes, the President needs to step in and make a decision. Yes, he has. I don't think this is at the point to be challenging whether we remove subsidy or not, what the pricing has. But I think there are some fundamental issues that need to be addressed.
Thank you. You said that the Nnpc is not following the PIA to the letter. In what ways do you think they're deviating from the law? One is
their continuous, I don't even know what to call it, whether it's subsidy, what they are doing with PMS. That's, for me, if the Nnpc says that they are following the PIA, then they should not have the process, they should not have an involvement in the process. But today they are the sole importer of this thing. The pricing of the product is a miracle. What is different from PMS, from bread? Everybody has a bakery in Nigeria and produces bread. We buy bread at different prices. So why have we turned PMS into a public good that we filter the whole of Nigeria's resources trying to fund and finance? And everything about it is just corruption and mismanagement. The whole process. We don't need a refinery to have PMS in Nigeria. So why have we made PMS an issue? And from the pricing, from the importation, from the allocation, the whole process, and Nnpc is right in the middle of it.
So, yeah, well, having functional refineries will make it a lot easier, won't it?
No, that's the point I'm making. Discussion, Nnpc refineries, It's not the industry. Now, we had that, if we said that refinery was the solution, Dangote 650 capacity refinery will have solved the problem. I will not be talking about fuel scarcity today.
Well, he hasn't started.
No, that's the point I'm saying. So building a refinery is not the issue. We have some underlying more fundamental issues than just building a refinery. So for me, is this whole issue about major projects, building a refinery, and when the refinery gets complete, the refinery will just resolve all the issues in the industry. But I'm saying that the underlying investment in the industry, the underlying economics, the underlying pricing, the availability of the product in Nigeria, those underlying issues have not been taken into consideration.
But if we look, let's extrapolate a bit into macroeconomics, right? Because the argument for the refineries, for the Dangote Refinery, for the Port Harcourt Refinery, even for the modular refineries around the country, is that if we are refining our own products, we will reduce the pressure, the forex pressure, and we will also be able to reduce prices of products in Nigeria. So do you think that's not a worthy goal?
So my point is that, and taking your argument is based on the fact that there is product to provide to the refinery. And I'm saying that we don't have, at our current level of production, under 2 million barrels, we don't have the crude oil to produce, even if we have a refinery. So for me, the real issue is to move our production between the 3 and 4 million barrels phase. First of all, we have oil to meet our revenue issues, meet our job obligations. Then we now have volumes of oil that we now have to decide whether we want to give to Dangote, give to Nnpc, give to the modular refineries, or export and import, or whether we want to pay subsidy. So for me, I think even before we start the macroeconomics discussion, I think it's a numbers game. And I'm saying that when at this level below 2 million barrels of this thing, we don't have enough crude oil to provide the volumes that we're talking about in terms of PMS consumption for Nigeria. So first things first, we're even talking about the product availability before even talking about price. Is the non-availability of the product that has talked to subsidy, that has talked to the whole racketeering. So I think for me, firstly, we should go to first base and now see how do we have a structured framework to be able to move productions into that 3 to 4 million range. And it's not going to be easy. There's the issue around the investment carriage. We're not approving major projects. There is issue about money for exploration. There's the environmental issues we're talking about it. So there are a lot of issues that we need to do. So I think for me, the focus first is to move production into that 3 to 4 million barrels range, so that we have enough revenue to deal with revenue to government. Then we now have sufficient product to go to refinery. Because if we have refineries, like you said, efficient refineries, and the refineries don't have to be Nnpc refineries. If we have refineries, then the products will be available, and we cannot deal with the prices of it.
If we stop oil theft totally, or bring it to the barest minimum, which has been underreported anyway, the magnitude of oil theft, do you think that will help at all?
I think the way we discuss oil theft is also the kind of way we're discussing refinery. I believe that there is oil theft in Niger Delta, but I don't think that if the IOCs, the independents, are producing at 3 to 4 million barrels a day, I don't think that the capacity within the Niger Delta, within what we call the oil theft, will be able to deal with it. Because we're talking about big volumes. Where are the volumes? Yes, there's oil theft, there's bunkering, but I don't think it's in those volumes that we're talking about.
Why don't you think it is? Because we've even received reports that they've super vessels which are filled with oil. So that means that the oil theft is a very it's not just simple bunkering, right? It's not just low level operations. It's a very complex operation when we talk about oil theft in the Niger Delta region.
I think the question on top of that should be that, are you saying that the question of oil theft in the Niger Delta is exaggerated?
In terms of volumes, yes. That's what I think. Because
why do you think so?
The numbers we're talking about, if we're reporting figures in the region of 400,000 barrels a day, yes, of being stolen.
Yes.
In terms of just physical size, if you have that kind of volumes moving around in the Niger Delta, in, like she said, super tankers and this, for me, we have Navy boys on the sea, we have people patrolling the sea. So that kind of volumes cannot go unnoticed. Yes, and now. So if we say that we can say that we're doing those volumes moving out of Nigeria undetected, then that goes back to government again, because government is government security forces, government is Nnpc.
Yeah, but that still ties back to corruption. It doesn't mean that it's been exaggerated. It just means that it's been underreported. No.
Now, okay, for me, there are two sides to the story. One side of the story is to say oil is leaving Nigeria. Now, if oil is leaving Nigeria, it's going outside. It's going to go into refineries and it's going to use for other purposes. So there's going to be, where the oil leaves Nigeria, there's going to be corresponding where the oil goes to. So even if Nigerian government cannot detect when the oil leaves Nigeria, the countries that the oils are going to, which they should be able to spot it out. Now, for me, yes, oil theft is a big issue, but that does not remove from the fact that we have not done a major project in the oil. An FID on the major project has not happened in 8 to 9 years. That does not remove from the fact that the IOCs are not investing in the Niger Delta. That does not remove the fact that government is not approving sales and investment is not coming in. So if the investment is not coming in, then production will fall naturally. So irrespective of whether we're managing oil theft or not managing oil theft, and I think we should all admit that RISE is doing some very nice work there. We have some security agencies that are reporting oil theft. So even if oil theft was, production even has started to steadily climb. So I think that the oil theft issue is being addressed. But what I'm saying is that, apart from oil theft is one of the factors. But I think the real main factor is for us to increase production. So it's one of my friends.
What do you think what will it require exactly?
Require for
yes.
So for me, like I listed out, first of all, what we require is that first there has to be more investment coming in from IOCs and international community. And the government's failure to approve consent for some transactions that are happening is not helping matters. So foreign investment is not coming in. The government has to also approve FIDs and projects a little quicker. There's a lot of delay on that side. And if you approve these projects, each of those projects can get to $15 billion, $20 billion per project. That is going to bring money into the industry. Now, that's on that. On the issue of the regulation and environmental debate, we need to be a little bit faster on how we do business and encourage this thing. We have the Nigerian independents that are doing a lot, they're doing very well. Seplat, ND Western, fresh hydrocarbon. They have increased production. So the capacity to increase production is there. It's just to create the environment and focus. So instead of talking about Nnpc's inability to do refineries, I think the focus for the minister should be saying, how does he get these guys to increase production into that 3-4 million, right? And I think that for me, that is really where the focus is, because it really doesn't add any value to continue to slap and beat Nnpc for not delivering refinery, because we know from history that their performance is bad and we shouldn't expect anything different from them.
Welcome back, my people. The current crisis involving the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) and the Dangote Refinery starkly illustrate how entrenched mismanagement and corruption are exacerbating Nigeria's economic woes. From my perspective, NNPC ongoing failures are not merely administrative issues. They are actively deepening the severe fuel crisis affecting the country. The relentless increase in fuel prices is impacting every aspect of the economy, driving up transportation costs, food prices, and essential services. This escalating financial strain is severely affecting the lives of ordinary Nigerians. A critical factor in this crisis is the obstruction of the Dangote Refinery project. The refinery was expected to be a major step forward for Nigeria's energy sector, with the potential to reduce our reliance on expensive fuel import and stabilize domestic fuel prices. However, NNPC's interference in blocking Dangote's access to essential resources seems like a deliberate act of sabotage. This not only seems a crucial economic initiative, but also highlights a broader pattern of behavior aimed at maintaining a corrupt and inefficient system. The economic impact is significant. The price of petrol motor spirit has now surged to around 950 naira per litre in many regions, a dramatic increase from previous level. This spike in fuel prices is inflating transportation costs and driving up the price of goods and services nationwide. This situation is further compounded by the high inflation rate, which is eroding the purchasing power of the Nigerian's family. The devaluation of the naira only wasn't the problem, making imported goods more expensive and adding further pressure on household finances. The sentiments from Nigerian citizens reflect growing frustration and discontent over the handling of the fuel crisis and the obstruction of the Dangote Refinery. Public discourse and social media are filled with calls for accountability and transparency. Many are demanding that government address these systemic issues and allow critical projects like the Dangote Refinery to proceed without interference. The situation underscores a broader failure of governance, the persistent fuel crisis, and the deliberate hindrance of important projects reveal a pattern of economic mismanagement and corruption. Instead of implementing effective solutions and promoting transparency, there appears to be a deliberate effort to maintain a corrupt status quo that benefits a select few, leaving the majority to suffer. Well, to me, the sabotage of the Dangote Refinery, coupled with severe economic hardship and governance failures, highlight the urgent need for comprehensive reform to stabilize Nigeria's economy and improve the quality of life for its citizens. It is crucial to address this systemic issue head on, fostering transparency, accountability, and genuine progress in the energy sector and beyond. Thank you very much. This is where I'll be putting up on this episode. So if you're watching us for the very first time, kindly like, comment, share this video to all social media platforms, and also don't forget to click on the notification icons to get you acquainted of our next video. Thank you.